We love spending this time with you. Thank you for listening. If you would like to take your listening experience to the next level, did you know there's a way to do that, Jabo?
I do.
Yep, you know how you do it. You go to thetjshow.com, you sign up for the TJ Show newsletter, and you get cool things dropped right into your inbox, like the TJ Show's 10 shares. We pick 10 different things, everyone on the team does it, that we think you're going to love. It's not just about our show. This is about like stuff, music we're listening to, whatever it may be.
Like life stuff.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot more in there. Sign up at thetjshow.com. This is the TJ Show. Jabo, you do what a good friend is supposed to do.
You ask questions, man.
You were scrolling around on your social media and you saw a dear friend of yours.
Yeah, my friend Megan, man. She is a huge fan of the Jonas Brothers, and I saw on her stories that she bought, yet again, another pair of tickets to go check out the Jonas Brothers.
Now it's gotten excessive. I know you were concerned for her.
Yeah, that's why I reached out, because I know that she's gone to quite a few of their shows, and I was like, girl, another one?
Yeah, like how many do you need?
I'm like, how many times you gotta go see these bros?
Do you have a JB addiction? Do I need to take you to a couple counseling groups with a bunch of screaming girls who are not screaming anymore?
Do you want to funnel that money my way? You know, come on now.
And yeah, so she's gone to many shows, which you're going to hear how many in Jabo's little interview. But I appreciate that you checked in on her to see if she was okay.
Oh, that's what good friends
do. So you just bought tickets to another Jonas Brothers concert. What number is this? Like, how many concerts have you gone to?
I think I'm at 18 Jonas Brothers concerts.
Now, when you've already been to 18 concerts, what could make it so that you need to go to more?
Oh, yeah. You know, I had to ask her. I'm like, don't you get bored? Don't you get tired of this?
Since 2009 to present. And then I have 4 more Jonas Brothers concerts on the books for this year. So then I'll be at 22 this year.
Oh, I thought she was buying 1 pair for this year. She bought 4 more pairs?
Well, when I saw her post on stories, she had just bought a pair.
Give me an estimated guess. How much money would you say you spent on concert tickets?
Great question.
Not including flight, not including hotel and food, just tickets.
This question stresses me out because I don't know the total number, and that's a little terrifying. But if I had to guess, I'm probably spending at least $200 a show. I will say somewhere more than that, especially this last tour that they did. I definitely splurged a little bit. But hey, that's why we have fun money and we budget for things like this. And I also was just like wanting to do that for myself. So, I mean, if I had to guess, it's probably somewhere in the ballpark of like $10,000 is what I've spent on tickets.
$10,000.
And that's a guesstimate, right? She probably spent more than that.
Oh, yeah. You always go under.
And that's just tickets.
Yeah.
Not hotel, not food, not flights.
Wow.
You've seen them so many times. Doesn't every show after a while start looking the same?
You would really think that you would get tired of a show that you've seen that many times, but the thing is each show in its own way is different based on like where you're sitting, and sometimes they change the set list.
And Nick's head looks different from the left versus the right.
And especially for like this past tour that they did, they had a B stage in the back of the arena, and then they had the main stage in the front. So it's like if you were towards the B stage, you were getting to see those songs up close. If you were towards the main stage, you were getting to see those songs up close.
That's the reason. I'm glad you reached out.
Well, here's the thing. She goes to all over the nation. Like, she's been to Vegas. She's gone to their residency. She's gone to their show in Colorado and Red Rocks, which is a very, like, famous place people go to perform. So that's
beautiful.
A great atmosphere there. She goes everywhere. And she's built this community of friends when she's gone to these concerts. And she's actually budgets for it. So to each their own.
Who are we to judge?
Yeah.
My brother, who is a big Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, and this guy, I mean, he goes to sometimes 2 or 3 concerts a year. And I'm like,
wow.
Bro.
Oh, that's nothing on Megan.
Yeah. First of all, didn't know about Megan.
Right.
But you chill out.
You know, I just texted my girlfriend. She's seen the Jonas Brothers 10 times.
Really?
Yeah.
You gonna dump her?
No, not at all.
Fine.
Hey, I've seen Bruce Springsteen 10 times.
Okay.
Well, tell her Megan has seen them 18 times, going on 22.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't talk. I have seen Billy Joel about 6, I think.
Yeah, if the Spice Girls were still touring, I'd probably be in the hundreds.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
We've all got our things.
That's right.
I desperately need a mature woman's opinion. Jabo, I need you.
I don't know if today's the day that I'm mature. I chose that yesterday.
No. I think our Kenny needs some help. And I don't know that he's going to listen to me if I give him the advice that he needs.
Well, does Kenny want help? Because if he doesn't want help, he's not listening to anybody.
It doesn't matter if he wants it or not. I know he needs it. So somehow we have to communicate to him what he needs.
What's going on with Kenny?
Well, Kenny got in trouble at the grocery store with his girlfriend. Can you tell Jabo what happened?
Well, the grocery store, I remember being fun as a kid because they had these plastic blow-up balls that they sold for, a couple of dollars. Way too much money than what they're actually worth. But I decided to grab one of those and walk around with it throughout the store to make it a little bit more fun. And Allison was getting really upset with me because I was up to a bunch of hijinks.
So your girlfriend,
You
Allison...
were just walking around with it? I don't believe it. What were you doing?
I wasn't just walking around with it. I was bouncing it off the cereal boxes, bouncing it between my legs. I guess I hit a customer once or twice by accident.
All right, that's why she's upset. Because I figure your girlfriend Allison's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Especially since sometimes you could be a little much in the silliness, and she's put up with you this long. So you had to do something else in that store. So that's what it was.
Yeah, but wait, it's worse than that. The balloon section where they got all the flowers? There was a balloon with a big opening in the middle. And
Yeah, it was a zero. It was like a birthday balloon,
Okay.
like for like a 60th birthday. And I was like, Allison, you want to make a bet? I can make this through the hole right there. Come on. How much? I bet I could put it right through.
So he starts shooting the plastic ball through the balloon. And it's like, what woman wants to be with that? You just want to shop. You want to get your stuff. Now everyone's looking at Kenny. You're the overgrown kid. That is not sustainable for long-term success. Am I right?
It depends what she's willing to put up with. I mean, there's some things that my husband puts up with that somebody else would have not put up with.
But wait, tell her what she said.
Yeah, well, she was yelling. She yelled at me.
She yelled at him for the first time?
And you stop?
Stop it. And I'm like, okay.
I'm telling you, that stuff builds up, bro.
Yeah.
That stuff builds up. You
Like
guys
the-
have been together a little over a year.
That was the explosion
After a
right
while,
there.
she gets over it.
She
yeah.
gave him a stop it.
Public places, hijinks is not Allison's favorite thing.
But then, can we talk about what happened at IKEA?
Yeah,
So because I hang out with Kenny sometimes, and he tells me this stuff,
Right.
and I'm like, the guy needs help, and I've told him, but he's not listening. So what happened at IKEA?
Well, it's very nice. Allison's mother went to IKEA with us, and she bought us some furniture for our new place as a housewarming gift, and I was very appreciative. But in the warehouse section, I was kind of scooting around on those little carts that they had, and Allison's mom yelled at me. So I guess
Oh
it
my
runs at
gosh,
the
her
family.
mom too.
So cut it out! Cut it out, Kenny!
He got to cut it out from the mom and a
so
stop
bad.
it from the girlfriend. I mean, this is not going in the right direction, and I'm not kidding, right?
You know, knowing Kenny, he's probably doing it to put a smile on Allison's face, but really what it's doing, it's embarrassing her. So maybe just tone it down a little bit so you don't lose who you are, that like silly guy
Child.
that right there. Maybe you don't lose who you are, but you can still consider the fact that you're embarrassing her and she doesn't feel good about that.
Yeah,
That's the point, J-Bo.
But do you want to stay with her, though?
Of course I do.
All right, well, then you got to think
You
about
got to pull
this
back
stuff.
a little bit.
Yes, producer Heather.
Kenny, I have a suggestion for you. So a fun thing that I do with my husband at the grocery store is like I'll purposefully like lose him, and then when I find him again, I'll scream, I go, Louis, it's me. And he gets so embarrassed, he hates it. So that'd be a fun thing to do.
Okay, great. Well, there you go. You
The
have
whole
your...
idea is making her uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's what's fun for me.
That's what a woman loves, right, J-Bo? You love being made uncomfortable
good
all
luck
the
with that,
time.
Kenny.
The stuff they figure out, it really blows my mind. Like, this was a problem I just assumed would never be fixed. And here's Apple, once again, coming to the rescue.
What problem were you referring to?
Remember when Kenny was talking about how so many people struggle with motion sickness in the car?
Yeah, when they're on their phones.
Especially, if they're staring at their phone or their tablet, or maybe like if you're reading a book in the car or something.
Yeah.
Can't do much about that. That is the way it is. But Apple came up with this new feature called vehicle motion cues as a possible solution. And listen to how this works. The vehicle motion cues turn this built-in motion sensor in an iPhone and iPad into an anti-sickness aid. When you turn the setting on, the user's phone starts displaying animated black dots at the edges of the screen.
Right.
And the dots move along with the motion of the phone or the vehicle to reduce any sort of a sensory conflict that we're having. And it even shifts across the screen as the vehicle turns right or left, or if it suddenly stops, and it doesn't interfere with the main content. I think that's so brilliant. Like
That is very brilliant.
Somebody had to figure that out.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
all right,
brilliant.
We're at the point now in the Apple laboratory, motion sickness. What do we do about it? And it's like they know what to do. I'm blown away by that.
But now there's going to be more outbursts from the passenger seat or from the back seat, because I don't know if you've done this. When my husband Archie's driving, if I'm on my phone and I see something that's like, oh, I end up gasping, and he's like, what happened?
Yeah,
and I'm
I
like,
know,
oh,
yeah.
I just saw something on. And he's like, are you kidding me? Like, you're stressing me right now. I'm driving.
I've had to correct my rudeness towards my wife. Like when she's on her phone in the car, to me, that's one of the most offensive things she can do.
What?
Yeah, because it's like, what? You want to choose your screen? How rarely are we in the same place at the same time where we get to talk to one another. And I'm here driving the vehicle.
Yeah, sometimes I just want to numb out. Sometimes I don't want to think.
You can't keep me busy? You can't love me while I'm in the driver's seat? Come on, man.
Your thoughts don't keep you busy?
No. I would like
busy.
it if Jess would talk to me more, but she chooses Instagram over me, or she's texting a friend. It's like, why are you texting your friend? And now she's got the motion sickness cure. That's the only hope I had. She would sometimes, you know that feeling when you start getting the motion sickness and you're just, oh, okay, gotta put it. You slowly put it down. You start swallowing hard.
You start looking around and breathing.
Slow breath. Refocus on the road. Ooh, I'm okay. I think I survived that one.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, that's what you get for keeping your phone out.
And you're like, nom, nom, nom.
Yes,
Yep.
producer Heather.
It's a good thing you're not married to my husband, Lewis, because as soon as he's in the passenger seat and I turn the car on and I move just a slight foot, he falls asleep immediately.
Must be nice to be him.
Isn't that so offensive to you? My dad does the same thing to my mom, and she hates it.
Sometimes, but most of the time I'm okay with it because I can listen to the music I like, I can listen to the podcasts I like, so it's all good.
That makes for a great passenger prince, I'll tell you that.
My mom gets so upset because my dad, same thing, he just passes out. And they go on 2-hour drives sometimes, and he's sleeping. And she has a famous line. She goes, I feel like I'm a hearse driver. I'm carting around a dead body. Your dad doesn't stay away. Nobody wants to talk to me. I'm like, Mom, listen. Say something interesting. And then
You sound like your mom. Maybe your wife just feels the same way. Say something interesting, TJ.
Every time you turn around, there's something else wrong.
Your father is sleeping in the passenger seat. He's like a corpse. She does a whole routine. I'm telling you, my mom would be a stand-up comic if she would just
could see
sit
it.
down, right? But she doesn't know how to capture it in a bottle. But she comes up with all these things, like a hearse driver. That is really
Yeah, I'd pay to go see her for sure.
It's unbelievable. Well, old Italian moms, they've got that thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's spice.
This is the TJ Show. The technology, it's changing every second.
Ever notice that how you feel affects your food choices, and that what you eat affects how you feel throughout the day? Well, researchers noticed it too, and now there's cutting-edge science about how food affects our emotional well-being. I'm food and science journalist Mary Beth Albright, and in my weekly podcast, Eat, You'll Feel Better, I look at practical, realistic ways to put the science of eating for emotional well-being into action. And, this is important, without lapsing into negative diet culture messages that can really ruin anyone's emotional well-being. We talk about things like how the food in your gut sends messages directly to your brain. And we also celebrate something that I personally find often missing from food health news, and that's leaning into pleasure. Because food is delicious, and it's not just about what we eat. Emotional well-being is also about how we eat. So join me every week on Eat, You'll Feel Better, where we use science to improve mood through food.
Hi, everybody. This is Adriana Trajani. I'm the host of You Are What You Read, a podcast about the books that built our souls. I have the privilege of interviewing luminaries of our times about the books that shaped them from childhood until now. Don't miss it. We get everybody from Sarah Jessica Parker to Kristen Hanna to Jhumpa Lahiri, Susie Essman, Rainn Wilson, Amor Tolls. You name it, they come, they talk, they share. You can join us on Instagram for more behind-the-scenes content and giveaways at You Are What You Read Podcast and at Adriana Trajani. New episodes of You Are What You Read drop every Tuesday on Apple, Spotify, or any major streaming platform wherever you listen to your podcasts.
This is the TJ Show with a warning, J-Bo.
What is that, TJ?
So I'm scrolling through Instagram, and I see this, quote, health expert telling us what we can do to make our back and our shoulders feel great. And this guy is passing a water bottle from over his head, and then he catches it with the bottom hand, and then he goes and he reverses it again. And I'm telling you, I think I injured my shoulder. I'm pretty sure.
You tried it?
Yeah, I tried it, and now my arm really hurts. And then I go to the comments and I see other people saying my arm hurts. And I'm like, is this a trap? Like, are we being misled? Or am I just not strong enough to be able to do it? It was very weird. And I'm mad at the internet today.
Always read the comments first.
Yeah.
Then do.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
I made a big misstep.
I'm sorry, bro.
I saw it on the internet and I assumed that's got to be true.
Right, it's
and
true.
maybe it is. Maybe I did it the wrong way. But we got to be careful about what they say is good for us.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes.
TJ, I just think you're moving your arms in a way you haven't moved your arms in years.
Is that what it is?
That's probably why it hurts. How often do you do that?
Yeah, I've never done that.
That weird motion.
Pretty
you
weird
never
motion,
do.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like a preschool dance
Exactly.
they teach you. But no, I got some work to do. Apparently, I've got to lift things up, put them down a little bit more often, J-Bo.
right.
We'll hit the gym together. You can spot me.
Oh, I think camera guy Josh would be down to go.
Oh, yep. J-Bo, what's happening in your world today?
What do you think the most told lie is?
I don't know. People like leave certain things out and they don't
omitting
give
stuff?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
don't give you
that
the full
bothers me.
story. They don't consider it a lie, but it sort of is.
I mean, that's a good answer, but I was going to say I'm fine. I'm fine is definitely like the most told lie. The
okay.
second most told lie is I have read and agreed to the terms and conditions because let's be honest, who's actually reading the terms and conditions?
so
No
you
one.
feel like you're lying when you accept?
Oh, don't you feel that way?
Yeah. I wonder how that would play out in court. But I was just kidding. I was lying. I accepted the iTunes agreement.
You clicked the box. Yeah, but I didn't really read it.
Yeah.
It's 3 million pages. Who's reading that?
Right.
Judge, does anyone ever read this other than the lawyers?
Right, that's definitely the second most told lie. I'm sure of it.
Yes, producer Kenny.
I read it once.
That was because I remember that was years ago when I was hosting a show in Boston and Kenny was working with us. I said, no one ever reads this. We need somebody to read it for us. And so we forced Kenny to do it.
You forced him. So it wasn't because you wanted to, Kenny. It was made out of force.
And how many hours did that take you? I think from what I remember, it was like 7 or 8 hours.
It was long.
Are you a slow reader?
That's a lot of
No,
content.
but we made him take notes. And I said, anything we need to know, you better report it to us. And if anything goes wrong, it's your fault. And so far, nothing's gone wrong.
There were a lot of big words that I had to look up.
Oh, I feel you on that.
Yeah, it was like a research project.
I believe it.
I remember that, Kenny. That's great. Heather, what's going on in your world today?
Well, you guys know me. I'm a big sweets guy. I love candy. I love desserts. You put an entire bag of candy in front of me, I'm gonna eat the whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But I've been trying to cut back on my sugar, so I haven't had sugar in 4 days.
Really? How are you feeling?
I don't know if you can. I think you could tell in my face because there's no more joy in it.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what I think.
I didn't think it was appropriate
So
to ask you how you were doing.
I think it's working, but yeah, it's working. It's been awful, man. Really.
Oh, man. It hits hard, too. You start to get headaches and, it's so
Yeah.
weird.
You know what? Sugar has found me because I'm not really looking for it, but my wife bakes all the time. So there will be a bag of chocolate chips on the kitchen counter, and I take 4. And then I'm like, you know what? Actually, I need 40.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
I keep going, and I ate a whole half a bag of chocolate
Yes.
chips the other day, and I'm
I've
like,
been there.
this was not even the plan. It found me.
Yeah.
There's sugar
It was a
everywhere.
trap. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm trying to find ways to add joy to my life. So
So sugar is probably the main
yeah,
ingredient for joy. Yeah.
I'll keep it in my diet. We do a show around here for humans, but we love our animals. And maybe your dog's in the front seat, got its head out the window, and you wonder why. Why doesn't he want to be in the car with me? Well, it's because we're not doing a show for your dog. And we want to do a show for your dog. And my dog, Luna, this is where I got the inspiration for this. She passes out in the living room with the radio on every day. She doesn't care. She falls asleep. We need to be doing stories that are interesting to animals. And that's how Luna's Animal Tales was born. The biggest stories and animal headlines across the nation. Starting with this frightening beginning to a story, a trapped puppy that was stuck in the wall of a California home, rescued by the Orange County Fire Authority. They said that the puppy, named Faye, crawled through the plumbing access opening and ended up trapped underneath the bathtub in her family's home for about 2 hours.
Oh, that is a curious puppy. Where does this go? Well, in the wall. That's where it goes.
Right. Firefighters ended up using a hammer to punch a hole in the wall so Faye could escape. The pup was quite happy to see the firefighters, very friendly faces, and happy to be reunited with loved ones. The family said, well, who knows what she'll be up to next. And see, I don't know that puppies should have full access to your house. You gotta use the crate and train them.
Yeah.
Because they're only gonna cause trouble.
Well, some people will keep a leash around their waist and then put the puppy attached to the leash. And so wherever they go, the puppy goes.
Yeah, for a certain period of time. I think that's necessary.
Yeah.
I've heard people say, oh, my puppy chewed up the house. Why are you letting him run around the house?
Running free.
This story about cicadas. You know, cicadas. There was a recent story getting headlines. One landed on President Biden's neck while he was out on the tarmac. It's always kind of fun when you see that. Weird stuff like
Makes
that
them
happening.
seem human, you know? Happens to us too.
Some 1.5 million cicadas will be emerging per acre in some places. And keep in mind, these are harmless insects, which is really good news, because if one lands on me, I'm going to freak out. Until now. There will be many cicadas landing on people's shirts, arms, hair, and beyond. And the good news is the bugs have no real interest in people. When cicadas emerge, they seek out trees, the places where they can mate and ultimately lay eggs on the ends of branches or whatever it may be. And to a cicada, trees and people have similarities. So they're just looking at the tallest object in an area and they think you're a tree.
No, I don't want a cicada getting this freak on me. That's gross.
Well,
no, thank you. Pass.
You got to be careful, J-Bo. The insects utilize trees and are strongly attracted to upright, dark silhouettes, and a human standing in an open area is close enough to that. So that's what they're looking for. They think you're a tree.
I'm staying inside.
This story is absolutely amazing. There's a German Shepherd, 6 years old. Name was Sadie. It was surrendered to an animal refuge in New Jersey by her previous owner due to a move. And this dog, Sadie, faced a lot of challenges in finding a new home because she was very nervous. And a few months ago, a guy named Brian entered Sadie's life, wanted to give her a second chance, and even though she was a little hesitant to trust him, he definitely recognized she was very smart, unwavering loyalty. Last week, Brian, the new owner, suffered a stroke while alone with this dog, Sadie. Listen to what this dog did.
It's a very scary moment.
Unbelievable display of devotion. Sadie never left his side, licked his face to keep him awake, even dragged him across the room to his cell phone. And because of this, it allowed Brian to call for help and ultimately saved his life.
Now, you said she was surrendered to a rescue. Were her previous owners cops or EMS or anything?
I don't know, J-Bo.
For her to have that kind of training?
Sadie is staying with family while Brian undergoes recovery in a rehab center. And despite being apart, they're FaceTiming every single night. And they're excited to be reunited. What a story. I mean, are our animals amazing or what?
Yes, they are.
There it is, Luna's Animal Tales, the biggest animal headlines from across the world. I saw this headline and it caught my attention. I feel like J-Bo already knows everything about this. The Eggo waffle-inspired sneaker is coming Friday. It's tomorrow. I'll get to why this is a very good thing at the end here, but Eggo apparently has new, what they're calling fully loaded waffles. 10 grams of protein in each waffle. Who doesn't love protein in their waffles?
Everybody's on the protein kick. I love it.
They are teaming up with a guy, I guess they call him the shoe surgeon. He's very popular in the shoe collecting crowd. Do you know who this is?
Oh, yeah, he's a customizer. I mean, he's brilliant. He's worked with a lot of different artists from will.i.am, Justin Bieber, J Balvin, Nelly. He's even made a pair of customized cleats for Odell Beckham Jr. So, I mean, he's super talented.
So if somebody wants to get a shoe made by him, do they say, hey, here's everything about me, make a shoe that you think would fit me, or does he come up with, how does that work?
I mean, I guess it depends on between him and the client, but from my understanding, I mean, just the base, just to make an order, made to orders, starts off at $5,000.
$5,000?
Yeah, and then the person has to provide the base, the actual shoe. So, for example, if I hire him and I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you an Air Force One low, right? And I want you to do whatever you want with it. Here's a couple things about me. You go play. Then he'll put something together.
Oh, so it's got to be a shoe that exists already. He doesn't have a shoe factory.
Right. He's not making the shoes. He takes something that already exists and then he just creates something beautiful out of it.
What an art form.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
It's pretty cool. But I'm looking at these pictures of these shoes, these Eggo shoes, and they almost look like they're tasty.
Is
that possible
delicious.
that a shoe could be tasty?
Yeah.
It's like this bright yellow, and then there's another one that represents the chocolate chip brownie Eggo. It's a big, I think I could wear these and rock these.
Well, one of them, yeah, is like this bright yellow, so it looks like the waffle, and it has like a strawberry syrup on it. So the strawberry syrup is dripping from the midsole of the shoe, and the yellow part of the shoe, which is like the body of the shoe, looks like the waffle, an Eggo waffle, and then the laces are pink to go with the whole strawberry syrup, and then the other one, that's a chocolate chip one, it's like a nice rich chocolate brown, also looks like a waffle print, and then it has chocolate syrup dripping from the midsole of the shoes.
Yet apparently these shoes are delivered in a toaster box. It looks like a toaster box.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah.
So it's amazing branding.
Yeah, so when I first read this, I sort of shrugged my shoulders. I'm like, really? How many shoes do we need? But here's the reason that they're doing this. In addition to promoting this new waffle, every pair of shoes, which goes for $150, They donate it to No Kid Hungry, which is a national campaign committed to eradicating childhood hunger. And so each of those shoes that they've allotted, it translates to 1,500 meals for kids in need, which is such a cool campaign.
Super awesome.
I smiled when I saw that. My heart felt all warmed over. I thought it was wonderful.
And if you think about it, they're going for $150, right? They release tomorrow on Urban Necessities, and then they're going to re-release May 24th and the 31st. On the Waffles website. What's amazing that for it to go for $150, I feel like it's a steal, especially if the shoe surgeon starts off at $5,000.
Yeah, seriously, where do you get a shoe surgeon
And it
shoe
goes to a great cause.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. So you like these? Would you rock them?
I don't know if I would rock them, but I appreciate the art for sure.
Do you think I can rock the waffle shoes?
No, don't do that. Don't do that. No.
Okay.
No.
Well, TJ, you've already tried to customize your own shoes.
Yeah, well, I saw that was a thing, so I wanted to try. And so I took a pair of Nike Blazers, I think they call them.
Yep.
And they were all white. I spray painted them.
Yeah, you're no shoe surgeon.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. You're far from it. But you're on your way.
Don't make fun of my art. That's my art.
I'm Erica, one-third of the podcast Books and Betches, a comedy book podcast where we swear, spoil, and we talk about...
Whoa. You cannot say that in this.
What do you mean? That's like our slogan. It's our gimmick.
It is, but just say we're a very funny adult book podcast. How about we just give some examples of things we talk about?
Well, there's a lot of chaos. I'm Kristen, and with me I have...
Waffles!
No.
We talk about books, but we're not your AP Lit class.
I definitely hit on the major points.
You absolutely did not.
She did.
You talked
just
about...
not in the order you thought she would.
You talked so slowly about one thing.
A lot of sidebar conversations.
Are you denying the existence of chupacabras?
You know, Erica, yes, I am. And we don't always get the facts right. Epilogues don't belong in books. Dude, call it chapter 1.
That's a prologue.
The second I see...
That's a prologue.
Oh, I'm talking about prologue. You can listen to new episodes of the Books and Betches podcast every Tuesday morning, anywhere you get your podcasts.
Bye-bye.
This is the TJ Show, our news. It sounds different around here. Kenny reads through every story he can find, and then he brings us the most interesting ones. Kenny, what's happening on the planet today?
The NFL schedule was released yesterday for the 2024-2025 season, and we're learning that Netflix is joining the party.
Wow. How so?
Well, they've signed a 3-year deal to stream games on Christmas Day, starting with this season. 2 games played on Christmas Day, a rare NFL Wednesday game with the Chiefs at Steelers, followed by the Ravens at Texans.
Ooh, if you're a basketball fan, you know. And my husband is so annoyed because for the longest, Christmas was for basketball games. And now the NFL is jumping in to do football games. Basketball fans are upset.
Well, it's interesting that, so it's only going to be on Netflix?
These Christmas games will only appear on Netflix.
Wow.
Now, maybe if you have the NFL Sunday ticket, which guarantees you access to all the games, maybe you would be able to watch it through that, but I'm not 100% sure.
How much is that to get access to every game? I see one of my friends who's big into fantasy sports. He's got like a security center set up where he's watching every player that he has.
8 different TVs.
Yeah.
Cool. It's $349 a year or $87.25 a month.
Do we need it?
I personally don't think we need it, but hey, teach their own. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you get the money for it and you love it, go for it.
It's a lot of money.
Well, I need it because I'm a Jets fan, and where I live, I don't get the Jets games on local television, so
It's
I
just
have no
becoming
other option.
more expensive just to watch football.
Jabo, you were onto something there. Well, going back to Netflix quickly, we also know that for the next 2 years, they'll have at least one game. Christmas falls on a Thursday next year and then a Friday the year after that. And to Jabo's point, the NFL, it appears you need, if you really want to consume every piece of content they put out, you need to subscribe to 11 different platforms.
We didn't need it in the past. It didn't even exist like this in the past. You would watch your local games with your local team, and everyone was fine with it.
Yeah.
It was more than enough to watch there. I mean, think about that. What is it, 3 or 4 hours on a Sunday? Do you need more?
More than that.
Or sometimes you just go to a sports bar and whatever games you couldn't get at home, maybe you don't want to pay for it, let the sports bar pay for it.
They got it.
NBC, CBS, Fox, ABC, Sunday Ticket, the NFL Network, ESPN, ESPN Plus, Peacock, Amazon Prime, and now Netflix.
Unbelievable. Kenny, what else you have?
A while back, we reported on the actor Christopher McDonald, who played Shooter McGavin in Happy Gilmore, saying in an interview that Adam Sandler showed him a script to a potential Happy Gilmore sequel. Well, during Netflix's upfront presentation to advertisers yesterday, they did indeed confirm that Happy Gilmore 2 is happening.
Oh, that's great news. I'm excited about that.
Kenny, you're a huge fan of Adam Sandler. Are you looking forward to this?
I am, although I am a little worried. I hope they don't ruin what is really top 3 favorite movies of mine all time.
Yeah, Happy Gilmore was right up there with Dumb and Dumber for me as a kid. And I feel like Dumb and Dumber 2 was a huge money grab. It wasn't great. I mean, obviously it was fun to see them.
You.
So I hope that there's a higher quality taken into consideration here, which I'm sure there is. I mean, Sandler's so good.
Yeah, I hope so too. We do know Adam Sandler will star and reprise his role, and we know that the film will be on Netflix, but we don't know much other than that at this point.
Maybe it'll be in the movie theater?
Interesting. Netflix has done that before, usually with films that they think have award consideration possibility.
Well, why wouldn't this be considered for an award? It's Happy Gilmore.
An Oscar, come on, sign it up. We'll see.
Katie, what else you have?
A man from Ohio near Cleveland is being hailed as a hero after rescuing a baby from a house fire.
That's incredible. Did he go into the burning building?
Yeah, that's exactly what he did.
Go him.
And he was just a passerby. He didn't know these people or anything. His name is John Sikovich. He's a 62-year-old U.S. Army vet.
Yeah, he is.
Retold the story to local Cleveland news, and he said he saw the owner sitting outside of the house with a baby while the fire raged inside. He asked her if she was okay, and she said, "My other baby," she's a mother of twins, "is still inside the house." And he remembers thinking to himself, "Oh my God, I have to save that baby." So he kicks down the side door, but smoke and flames are too heavy to enter there. So he goes around back and finds a way in, but he couldn't find the baby. He goes back outside of the house, says, "Where's the baby?" The mother says, "Near the kitchen by the baby gate." He goes back into the house, crawling under flames and smoke.
Wow.
Still has a hard time finding the baby until finally he hears the baby cry. So he knows it's nearby. He starts stretching out his arms, grazes the baby's leg, pulls the baby's leg, takes it out of the house, and apparently the mother, the 2 children, the man, all taken to the hospital afterwards, but are doing just fine.
What a beautiful story. Oh my. That is, I mean, how do you not say that's a miracle? The guy happens to just walk by at the right time. He knows what to do. I mean, would you even know what to do in a burning building like that?
I don't know. He probably went back to his army training.
Yeah. Seriously. Wow.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, fire department spokesperson said that John's swift action is the reason the child survived. He said he risked his life to bring that baby out. He did an amazing job. John said, "I just thought that, this baby's not dying today."
Thank God. Amazing story. Kenny, thank you for keeping us somewhat informed.
That's what's happening.